we've discussed external style sheets, we talked about the value as far as scalability, being able to place the style rules, the things that are going to define our formatting and the way things look on our websites across multiple pages. In this lesson, on page 68 and 69 in your book, we're going to prove this concept. We're going to use the style sheet we've created, styles.css, and we're going to not only make it available to the index file that we previously created, but we're going to build a new file that will also use those same styles. So let's get started. Your book asks you to open up the htm_c-2 HTML files. This is the file, again, that was in the lessons directory under Unit C, but the file we haven't used so far from the publisher in that directory. The first thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and save the file under another name. Your book is asking you to save it as aboutus.html. The benefit of doing this, again, is it keeps the original file from the publisher intact in case you ever want to start over or in case your file gets corrupt and you need to start fresh. Next, now that we have the file renamed, we're going to enter some information in our comments field that's specific to us. Again, we're going to enter our name and then we're going to enter today's date. I actually want to show you what the page looks like without the style information. Some basic information about the Lakeland Reed's bed and breakfast, but there's no fancy style to it. We're going to go back to our HTML page for the About Us, and we're going to add a link. Now, if you remember, I'm going to go back to the index file. We had this thing called link, and then we had rel, telling us what kind of link it was to a style sheet, and the href, or the hypertext reference, to the name of the style sheet. We're going to do the same thing in the About Us file. In step 4, you're asked, right after the script tag, to make a blank line. Then in the next step, you're asked to put the link to the style sheet with the style sheet's name. Now we're going to save this document and look at it in a browser. Now the styles that we had included in the external style sheet for the original index file is now being picked up by the aboutus.html file. Again, the reason this is possible is because we've included a link from the aboutus.html file to that external style sheet. Let's see what would happen if we go back to the style sheet and make some additional changes. You may remember that the background color we were asked to put in place for the contact ID and for the H1 element was wheat. Now we're being asked to change that. We're going to change it to pale goldenrod. We'll save this document. We'll go to the About Us file, run it in the browser, and now you can see the background color has changed. Again, we changed it in one external style sheet, and it's now changed in all of the individual HTML files that are calling that external style sheet. We'll prove this because right now we're looking at the About Us. If we then go and look at the index file, run it, and you see, again, the actual background color has changed because the background color specified in the rule for these two areas was changed in the external style sheet. Keep in mind, the external style sheet works this way because every HTML file that we create links to it. And it links to it by name, and it links to it by the correct name. That's it for this lesson. Now it's time to move on to the next lesson.